Yes, welcome once again, everyone. Another episode of Cannabis News. I am Joe Klare. It's August 2nd, 2018. Thanks to everybody who checks out the show. Make sure you check us out on the Marijuana Times. That's marijuanatimes.org. Click the video tab. You can find this show. Of course, there's a bunch of great articles on there by great writers. Social media links, all that stuff, marijuanatimes.org. Of course, go check us out on YouTube. As well, if you didn't know, our channel has been restored to YouTube. Go subscribe, click that notification bell so you know when new episodes of Cannabis News have been posted. Today we're talking about outgoing Colombian President Juan Manuel Santos, an op-ed he wrote about the drug war. Also, more from Jeff Sessions about what he thinks about the drug war. A little video clip. And flower now being sold in Pennsylvania under the medical marijuana program. Cannabis flower, that is. There's a catch, a hitch, a glitch, whatever you want to call it. We'll talk about that. All of that coming up. But first, of course, Cannabis News is brought to you by Natureside, nature-side.com. Site is spelled C-I-D-E. Check out their organic, all-natural pesticides. Grow safe and poison-free. Don't use harmful chemicals on your grow. And make sure that you are regulatory compliant in the state that you are growing in. You can do all of these things with Natureside, nature-side.com, a proud sponsor of Cannabis News. This first story by yours truly over at marijuanatimes.org. Outgoing President of Colombia takes aim at drug war in the story, which you can find, of course, linked in the description of this video. There's a link to a story I did about a speech that Santos made in 2016 when he accepted the Nobel Peace Prize. He has some things to say about the drug war, saying, quote, "War against drugs is being waged equally or perhaps even more harmful than all the wars the world is fighting today combined." He wrote an op-ed for America's Quarterly, which I have to admit I really didn't know. I really wasn't aware of that publication. I think I vaguely have heard of it before, but I think this is the first time I've ever linked to America's Quarterly in a story that I've done. Excuse me. Santos wrote, "In the world, and particularly in Colombia, we invest billions of dollars a year chasing the dream of a drug-free world. In the last 10 years, for example, we have eradicated about 2.5 million acres of coca through aerial and manual spraying. Still, according to UNODC statistics for 2016, 361,000 acres remain under cultivation. There's been more than 1 million drug seizures since 1993 by Colombian authorities. While such figures demonstrate Colombia's efforts to fight drug trafficking, they also show we're on a stationary bicycle spinning our wheels instead moving forward." Santos spent 8 years as president of Colombia. He won the Nobel Peace Prize, as I mentioned. He leaves office next week after his 2 terms are up. His 8 years, I guess it's 2 terms. I have to be honest. I really don't know. Maybe it's 1 year, 8-year term. Maybe it's 4 2-year terms. Those are the combinations. But in any case, 8 years as president, a very vocal critic of the drug war, and someone who has seen the drug war. If you know anything about Colombia and Colombia's history, especially over the last 30-something years, it's been a lot of death, destruction, mayhem. Hundreds of thousands, if not millions of innocent people, at least, have been displaced, driven out of their homes, families destroyed, people killed, murdered in the streets, bomb after bomb after bomb, just war. If you watch the show Narcos on Netflix, it gives you kind of a dramatic flavor for what's been going on in Colombia. So this guy, this president, he knows, he's seen it from a perspective that few have, the drug war, and he sees the futility of it. And luckily, he's spending a lot of time talking about it. Someone else talks a lot about drugs, but has a bit of an antiquated view of especially marijuana. Let's say Attorney General Jeff Sessions, the Attorney General we all love to hate. He, apparently, this is from Mass Live, this video. He was at a press conference talking about marijuana, or talking about, Department of Justice stuff, and they asked him about marijuana, and this is what he had to say. Jeff Sessions from Mass Live.
Sessions, as you know, marijuana becoming a big thing in Massachusetts, all new avenues opening up. What are your personal feelings about federal enforcement of federal laws involving pot, even as it's legalized here in Massachusetts?
Well, we'll enforce the federal law. I mean, the federal law remains the law of the United States. Personally, my view is that the American Republic will not be better if there are marijuana sales on every street corner. but states have a right to set their own laws and will do so. And, we will follow the federal law.
It's really nothing, new there. He says he's going to enforce federal law. He did say the states are allowed to make their own laws, which is an admission I'm sure he doesn't like making. But the one thing I love about, and this is the line he's trotted out quite a few times, the American Republic wouldn't be better off if we had marijuana sales on every corner. First of all, there's no data to back that up. If we had marijuana sales on every corner, we very well may be better off as a country. But here's the thing. Under full, unrestricted legalization, there wouldn't be marijuana sales on every corner. What's on every corner now? Lots of stuff. Corner stores, high-rise buildings, apartment buildings, all manner of businesses selling any legal product you can think of. Think of all the corners in America and all the different things that are on those corners. There's dozens. Just if you're talking about broad categories of things. There's dozens of things on corners. This fear-mongering, that if all legalization, there's going to be, you won't be able to spit in the street without hitting a marijuana shop or a drugged out zombie stoner staggering across the street, and it's going to be mayhem. It's this silly fear-mongering. There's going to be marijuana sales in every corner. Are there Walmarts in every corner? No. There's nothing on every corner because there's a bunch of different things on all of these corners. It's a dumb, basic level fear-mongering. And he thinks that's, I bet he thinks it comes across as like folksy, like Grandpa's giving you some advice, I guess. I don't know. Folksy wisdom from Jeff Sessions. We should have marijuana on every corner. By the way, if that was true, so what? Sounds like a lot of jobs. A lot of jobs. Every corner has a marijuana shop. That's a lot of jobs. That's the greatest jobs program in the history of anything. So dumb. It's basic level crap. You know what, Jeff Sessions, pick up your game, son. You do better than that. Speaking of doing better, Pennsylvania. Dry leaf marijuana is now sale for Pennsylvania, but you still can't smoke it. That's a rather misleading headline because obviously you can. What they mean to say is that it's still illegal for you to smoke it as a medical marijuana patient. But you can buy the flower, and many people have smoking implements such as bongs and bowls and bubblers and rolling papers and Rello papers and all manner of smoking implements exist. I don't know if you've heard, but people have been using cannabis for quite a while now. There's all kinds of stuff that's been created for that purpose. What they're saying is you can be a legal medical marijuana patient. You get your flower, which is supposed to vaporize, but you can go home and you smoke a joint. How are they going to enforce that? I don't know. How are they going to enforce whether or not a medical marijuana patient has smoked a joint versus vaporization in the privacy of their own home? Now, I guess if they're walking down the street smoking a joint, then they got you. I don't know what to do about that. I think you're breaking a couple laws there, but they got you for the smoking of the marijuana. They want you. It's so silly. We've gotten so locked into this mindset of, the government knows what's best and they're going to tell us what's best. And even though we can buy marijuana flower that's can easily be converted into a joint, a doobie, a spliff, whatever you want to call it, put in a bowl, a bong, a mini bong, bubbler, 6-foot bong. It can be put in all kinds of things. You go home and do that, that's illegal. We're going to sell you the flower, but don't smoke it. I know it's the easiest way to do it. It's the way you know most. It's the way most people do it, but don't do it that way. Buy this vaporizer. What happens if you have to prove you own a vaporizer to buy it? This is silly. It's silly. Let people do if people want to smoke a joint. If they're registered medical marijuana patients, if they're allowed to have it under your rather arbitrary rules with qualifying conditions and regulations and whatever, if they're allowed to have it and they're allowed to take it home with them, who cares what they do with it? What if they try to shove it in their ear hole? Wouldn't recommend it. It's going to turn out bad. It's not going to work. It's going to clog your ear. You're going to have to pick it out and somebody's going to have to dig it out. It's going to be horrible. But it's their prerogative. If they want to smoke a joint, they can smoke a joint. Or they should be able to smoke a joint, at the very least. And so there can't be any enforcement for this. And if they find out that someone has, like there's testimony of other people said, I saw that medical marijuana patient smoke that joint. They're going to take their medical marijuana card away? For what? For using medical marijuana? God, it's so dumb. It's mind-numbing sometimes. It really is. But I'm here every day on Cannabis News talking about it. Thanks to everyone who likes and shares and comments on the videos. Check us out at marijuanatimes.org. Make sure you check out Nature Side, our proud sponsor. Nature-side.com. Side is spelled CIDE. Check out the organic, all-natural pesticides, especially if you're a cannabis cultivator. Thanks again, like I said, for spreading the word, spreading the truth. Like, share, comment on those videos. Subscribe on YouTube, Apple Podcasts as well. All those places. Search the Marijuana Times. Thanks, everybody, for listening and watching. We'll see you next time on Cannabis News.